Hello, I'm late. Should have been here earlier this morning. It's been a busy morning already. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office. You're with Mission Alive, and I hope some of you picked us up now or later. We had first Sunday of Lent. We're into Lent, and I've put up a couple of times Pope Francis's suggestions for fasting. So we're well into Lent. We're fairly privileged here in Australia and in some other places where we can go to church on Ash Wednesday and receive the ashes. I remember once when I was out in Bushrigo, out in the Moresby Archdiocese, when I first went there, I used to go out on patrol. Sometimes I'd be out for a week, 2 weeks, short trips, long trips. And I remember that first year I was doing Ash Wednesday in the fourth week of Lent, because I hadn't been to those places, and I thought the ceremony and the symbolism of Ash Wednesday was worth doing. So we did. And then it struck me that this is rather silly to be still doing this sort of thing so long into Lent. So what I did, I had by that stage started training some prayer leaders to lead the prayer in the villages. And I might have spoken about this once before, because often I'd go up to the villages and it was obvious nothing was happening, church-wise or prayer-wise. So I decided to train these prayer leaders so that they could lead the Sunday service. And I provided them with New Testaments, and I provided them with calendars so they could find the readings and they could do it. Anyway, what I did for Ash Wednesday is I put together an Ash Wednesday service, combined it with the Sunday service, in which you can do the readings and the prayers without the Eucharist. And I put that together for Ash Wednesday. Then what I did before Lent began, I called them all in for an in-service, which I used to do several times a year, and told them to bring with them some ashes, either from their fire, or they could get some dry palm leaves and burn them and bring them in with them. So what I did was we trained them, went through this little ceremony with them and trained them how to do it. And then we did an Ash Wednesday ceremony, be a few weeks before actual Ash Wednesday, but we went through it. They brought their ashes, their own ashes, and we blessed them. And then we put the ashes on them. We did the whole ceremony together. So they knew how to do it. And then they went back, and then ever after that, in the villages where they were, or in the station where they were, they could do the Ash Wednesday service. And then it would mean more. So it would begin Lent on Ash Wednesday, and then they could follow it through. So that was empowering these men, they're all men at that stage, to do this for their community. And that they really appreciated that. And the fact that I trained them, when I went up to those places, they knew the prayers, and there was even some singing. And some of the sisters I took up with me, they would teach them songs. So it brought the whole faith life of that community more alive. Then later, when I was at Kabuna running the pastoral centre, training people, I realised that coming up to the Triduum from Holy Thursday on, many people had never seen those ceremonies, because the priest only did them probably in the main parish centre, and they'd never seen. Holy Thursday, the stripping of the altar, and all of that. They'd never seen the real Good Friday ceremony, or the fire and the candle on Easter Saturday night. So I did the same thing. I put in a booklet. I based it on the Sunday service which we trained them for, all the catechists and prayer leaders, and put together all of those ceremonies so that they could do every part of it except the Eucharist. They had communion ministers, and it would be routine in the parish to have the Blessed Sacrament reserved so they could give communion. And I trained them for that. And hopefully they're still able to do it. And again, this is doing two things. It's bringing them more into the full life of the church, the liturgical life, so they can celebrate those days, the whole Easter Triduum properly, and get the meaning of it, and then to empower them to be able to do that. So this is part of the mission too, bringing people into the life of the church and empowering them to leadership and participation in the church. Thank you for being with us on Mission.